Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a little different because we're going to be talking about a more serious topic today. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, the purpose of which to raise awareness and help educate the public about mental illness. So I thought today would be a good day to do the video that I've been knocking around in my mind about the connections between depression and creativity. I have a brother and sister, both younger. My younger brother is more hands-on and technology oriented, and my younger sister is more studious and well-read. I myself was the idealist of the trio. I was the artist, I was the writer, I was the creator. Not to say that my siblings weren't creative, it's just I was on a whole nother level. I was giving artwork as gifts, I was starting YouTube channels, I was creating just for the sake of creating. Now, I don't hide the fact that I suffer from anxiety and depression, and sometimes my depression spurs my creativity, but sometimes, more often than not, it hinders my creativity. There are many projects that I've begun and halted halfway through because my depression just makes me so afraid of failing, and there are many more projects that I've just never even started. It's something that I've been struggling with for years, and I'm finally now starting to understand the balance between my depression and my creativity. In 2008, the CDC reported that 1 in 10 Americans suffer from some sort of depression. That's a lot of people. But creative people are more often singled out for having a link between their creativity and their mental illness. Aristotle is quoted as saying, "No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness." And as it turns out, there is a link between a depressed mind and creativity. It's just not quite what people assume. We all know that image of the moody teen artist. She dresses all in black, she is just full of angst, and even though she's very bright, she struggles to find happiness in a world full of turmoil. Many people believe that depression actually fuels creativity, but that's not exactly how it happens. Creatives are more prone to depression because of the way that their mind interacts with their environment. Major depression is amplified in people who constantly ruminate about their thoughts. To ruminate is just to think deeply about something. Creative minds tend to have trouble gating their sensory input. They are constantly on, always running. There's a difficulty filtering the many stimuli flowing into your brain. And some creatives tend to shy away from human contact because of how sensitive their input is. So a creative mind is good at contemplating everything going on in their lives, the good, the bad, connecting all the small details of experiences. Creative people are highly conscious, reflective, and aware. They're less likely to adapt when they're confronted with new situations because they'd rather come to their own conclusions, their own reasoning, make up their own mind. Our brains are drawn towards things that are vital for our lives. Pain and suffering is strong, but it's often short-lived. However, when we ruminate on those experiences, we loop them over and over in our mind, and we experience these painful situations more often than those who don't. And then there are the people that are naturally drawn to stressful points in their lives, what they could have done, what they should have done, how one moment is going to dictate things for the rest of their lives. With such an expansive imagination, creatives will spend a lot of time thinking about their failures and insecurities, and also have far higher levels of achievement and satisfaction. For creative people, that depressive mindset will be stronger and more long-lasting because they are looping experiences over and over. Creativity is about the mind, so it makes sense that constant thinking would lead to some depressive thoughts. Feeling alone, helpless, like you can't ever do anything right. Someone who is constantly ruminating about these thoughts, they're more prone to major depression. So it's not that depression actually causes someone to be creative, but a creative mind, a mind that's always on, is more prone to depressive thoughts. And on top of that, creative people have more characteristics that make them more vulnerable. Many performers experience a contradiction of seeming extroverted and open, but at the same time being highly sensitive. With rumination, creatives tend to fall into deep states of depression, but this also means that they're more likely to appear to have higher rises. When this happens, their work is more prominent, their behavior is more recognized, and you can see with this shift why a lot of people think that depression fuels creativity, but that's not the case. Creativity can drive depression, but it's also more so a signal that there's a lot of thinking going on, a lot of stimuli being taken in. So what do we creatives do? Well, we must acknowledge our talents and under no circumstance let them go to waste. Many psychologists believe that blocking out your creative mind, your gifts, that will lead to major depression. My advice is to embrace your weirdness. Being weird is much more interesting than being normal, and you're always going to seem strange to someone who's less creative than you are. Surround yourself with other creative people, people who make you feel like anything is possible. I need to understand that it's okay to fail at something I'm trying to create. That's natural. You allow yourself to take more chances when you're unafraid to fail, and you learn substantially more from failure than you do from success. While art can be a good vehicle vehicle for deeper expression and understanding depression, it's important to remember that depression requires appropriate professional treatment. I'll include some links below in the description, including the phone number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. I highly suggest you seek professional help if you're feeling any negative feelings. Talking to a psychologist or any other mental health professional can do wonders. You are important. The world needs your creativity, your ideas, your existence. You'll see me on Monday.